Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to ExceedingTV. I'm Reek.
And I am Kayla.
Kayla.
Kayla, I'm gonna look at you.
Child. Man, I'll be getting into it.
Oh, hell.
Sister.
Hi.
Hi. Y'all missed us? We was gone for a week.
What is it?
Yeah, this is the firm. Oh my goodness.
That's right. We was gone for a week.
Oh my goodness.
But we're back.
And 20. Because y'all don't see this. Just be.
New merch.
New merch.
Yeah.
Dropping some metallic. We're gonna spice it up.
Spice it up.
Mm. This sweet. Oh, you guys are cute. See, mine look raggedy. This week's episode is Just Believe Me.
Just believe me.
Just believe me. So I got a lot of scripture tonight. Like tonight I got a lot of script. But basically, Just Believe Me was derived from Jesus operated a lot of according to thy faith. Like, according to thy faith, thou shalt be made whole. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the first one that I saw that was like, it hit me because it was like, I don't know. Like, but it's Hebrews 11:6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So basically the Holy Spirit was like, you seek me, right? And then I tell you something, and you don't believe it. So what was what was the point? What was the point of you doing all of that if I'm going to tell you something and you're not going to believe me? Like, just believe me. Like, it's really just that simple. Like, and it's like, I feel like my brain is just like, it can't be that simple. And you're like, yes, it is. Like, it really is that simple. Like, you just have to believe me. Because, one, without faith, it's impossible to please me. It's impossible to get to have this communication, this relationship, this fellowship, this interaction with each other. If I'm telling you something and you're rejecting what I'm telling you because of whatever reason, you just don't believe. And I know everything. Like, so why don't you just believe me? Hello, Earth Decay Lane. Earth Decay Lane.
I was listening to you. I was listening to your reasoning behind it.
Okay, so what you think about the topic, then? Jesus. Don't be acting up tonight. We didn't have a week off. Don't be acting up.
My brain is.
Come on.
No, my brain is like that for real. Because that is so true. We read that scripture, without faith, it's impossible. And I don't think we slow down and stop enough to read the word impossible.
Impossible.
Because I think we run by that.
Yes.
Read it again.
But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
It's like he said the other week. What you call it, the clickbait?
Yes, the clickbait.
We get the clickbait.
We get the rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
And we forget, we run past the word, that one word. Oh God, that one word.
Just that one word.
That one word that's right there in the middle of that
It's
sentence.
beginning for real.
Right there. That one word really is very important.
Principle before promise.
Principle before promise.
That
is very important. And we run by that because, like I said, we hit a clickbait.
Yes, we hit a promise.
We're gonna
the rewarder of them that diligently seek Him.
So He's gonna give me something.
Absolutely.
He's gonna give me something.
Absolutely.
But we forget that one word. That one word is impossible. It is impossible to please me. It's impossible.
Without faith.
Without faith, it's impossible.
And faith is nothing but belief.
Right.
That's it.
Right. That's all it is.
That's what belief. That's what faith is.
But we don't realize that without the faith, you're not getting.
It's you can't get to the
second.
It's not giving the rewarder.
It's not giving the rewarder. It's not giving me that you finna give me something.
I just snorted.
And that's how and that's how I think God look at it sometimes. He saying,
oh my goodness.
What I'm finna give you? That's just like my son. He'll text me, Mom, you cash out me $20. Okay, this like Monday. And he'll come right back to me, Mom, you cash out me $25. That's what he do.
Okay.
Then Wednesday he'll text me, Mom, can you just cash out me $10? Okay. And now by the third day, I'm like, don't text me no more.
About no nothing.
You got a whole day. Don't text me no more now. Do not text me no more. Thursday he come. Oh, Mom. Oh, I know, but can you cash out me $5?
Oh yeah.
He'll break it down.
$5.
But I'm looking at him and saying like, what you did? What you done did? You're not. You just steady asking. And you ain't that did nothing. I told you to go in there and clean that room up. Room still look like that.
What you asking me for?
So I'm finna reward you. No. So that's just like God is saying, listen, you got to have faith. I'm telling you up front.
Up front.
I'm telling you up front.
Jump Street.
You got to have faith. Faith is the only thing that's going to get my attention.
Beep, beep. Ooh. Beep, beep, beep.
Get my attention.
Wait, what?
It's
my child.
Yes. What? They developing? And like you said, believe. But we'll stick with the scripture, faith. So that's going to get his attention.
Yeah.
But if you don't develop that,
absolutely,
I'm telling you, I'm there. Oh, child. You would think all these years I wouldn't have had it by now, but I don't.
Oh, child.
So yeah, I'm definitely working on that. That's been something I have been really working on is developing my faith.
Yeah.
Somebody said, well, I got faith in. We said all the time, I got faith to go out there and get in my car and crank it up.
It's gonna crank up.
And
the brakes gonna work.
Get to that stop sign, push some brakes gonna work.
It's gonna work.
Develop that. Like we don't even
think about it.
We don't think about that.
Mm-mm.
We don't have to work on that.
Mm-mm.
It's like a habit. It's just like we get up and just go and do it.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to the thing, I'm talking about for me. But when it comes to the things of God, it's like I gotta. Okay.
You gotta put your little. You gotta put your little thing on it, like.
You sure? Like that's a little kind of big right there.
Like
you really gonna do that?
You sure?
And God is saying it's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Then
it's just gonna be impossible.
Come
on.
On.
If you want to act like that, it's just gonna be impossible.
Come on.
Bet. You want to act like that? It's just impossible.
Listen, next scripture, because it falls right into that, is Mark 9:23. Jesus said unto him, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. Jesus said that. That thing get read.
Next scripture. That was the next.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
If you could just believe me.
Right.
All things are possible to him that believe.
Yeah. If you believe him. And you gotta, and what I'm learning about that is, we had a conversation about that, and what I'm believing with, when I hear that word believe, It is, and really in what you believe in.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
if you believe in,
Absolutely.
you believe going out there and getting in that car, pushing on brakes at that stop sign, that red light, it's gonna stop. Guess what? That's what you believe in. You're
not even.
You just driving along.
The day that they don't work, you just like.
Yeah, the day they don't work, you'll be like, what? What happened? My brakes
disarray.
Hey, I
disarray.
I give you example about my air conditioner.
Listen,
you was in the car. I give you example about my air conditioner. What?
The air out.
My air blows like Antarctica. Alaska in my car when I cut my air conditioner on, and it don't work. What? Like that just blew my mind. Can't be not working.
Can't be.
But
got to
what? My belief and my faith was in when I get out there in that car.
That air gonna come
I'm gonna cut this air conditioner on, and it's
gonna be Antarctica.
It's gonna be Antarctica in my car. Immediately. I might turn it up to 75 because it's gonna be so cold. That's what my face was at until my face got shook. I said, "Oh, not my car,
not this one,
not this one. Is it somebody else's car?
Who car is it?
It got to be somebody else's
Can't be my car.
This is not my car."
Oh y'all, we was on the road. Like we weren't like stationary. Like we didn't get out the car and then get back in. Like we cut it off and we were right down the road and then cut it back on and was like, "This is hot air."
Not so.
This is hot air.
That is just saying not so.
This is hot air, baby. But we have that kind of belief and know in things. And God is like, God literally told me, like, literally through somebody else that could not have known what we were talking about. Because me and you were talking about that. And God told me that at the beginning of the year. He was like, there's nothing to see here. Just believe me.
Right.
Don't look for me in this. Don't look for me like that. Don't look for me like this. Like what you expecting. Because I know your thoughts. I hear you. Don't look for me like that. Because when that doesn't happen, then that's when your faith drops. Because that's how you think that I'm coming. So he tried to prepare me from the beginning and say, there's nothing to see here. Just believe me. That's all I want you to do. That's all I want you to do. And it's like that the faith in the things, like the faith in the way that we think and in the way that we think that it should go. Like there are things that God tells me that I'm just like, I can't do that. Like I can't, because I know me. And not even stopping to think like, okay, well, if you ask me to do it, you know me more than I know me. Like, you know my beginning, middle, and end. You know all of these things. And I think it's just the act of, like you said, you don't ever just, Pastor B said all the time, you don't never just walk up to a chair and expect it before you sit down. Yeah, you expect that chair to hold you. Right. Because what you...
Oh, you expect it to, when you sit down, you expect that thing to catch that thing.
And also just brought back a part that she said, and it just hit me because of what you know about chairs.
Yeah.
Because of what you know about chairs, you expect that chair to hold you. Because when you go to a chair over here, when you go to a chair over there, when you go to a chair over here, you sit in that chair and you expect that thing to hold you. Because of what we know about God, like, why don't you expect me to hold you?
Good night, y'all.
Because of what you know about me. Because of how I've saved you before. Because of how I've come through before. Because of how I made a way before. Why don't you expect me?
Oh, God. That's so ridiculous.
To hold you.
That's true.
Jesus.
That's true. That's true. And God has okay, yeah, I repent.
Absolutely.
So
I repent.
I repent. Because I have said that several times. The same God that did it last time, the same God that's gonna do it this time.
Come on, He's the same God.
But do you actually
believe it? Do you believe it? Because at the moment, it don't give. Same God.
And I said it the other day. Sometimes what we do is we say stuff and we believe in
for the moment.
For the moment,
you believe it for the moment.
And
you believe it for that situation.
For you believe it. Here it is. You believe it as it coming out your mouth. And just as soon as you get it all the way out your mouth, your mind is already saying, "Oh no,
I gotta stand on that.
I don't know if this could be."
You gotta stand on that thing,
right? But that's what happens though. Like you said, same God did it last time. Same God gonna do it this time. But first of all, ain't but one God.
It's only one. Come on now, like it's only one
God. But the saying is true.
Same God.
But do we really believe that? Because if we did, we wouldn't find ourselves wavering.
Come on.
In this situation, and then but over here you like, oh yeah, same God right now. Thank God,
same God that came through the last time will be the same God who will come through.
I was thinking Ty
this time. Okay. Okay.
Who you say?
Anthony Brown.
Okay. I was thinking Ty
Listen.
But
it's everywhere.
Before, he can do it again. And thank God. However it goes.
Listen.
Anyway, that's what it is. But see, we won't find ourselves wavering in other situations. Like, yeah, I can believe you to go out here and crank this car and this car gonna stop.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna believe you for that.
Yeah.
But can I believe you when my light bill is literally finna get cut off?
My
light's gonna get cut off.
And you said
and tomorrow at midnight, it's gonna be done.
It's gonna be done over with.
It's gonna be done.
Finito. It's done.
Can you believe that God will send somebody to you? Can you believe that?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Hey, you got my testimony about my air condition.
Listen.
I'm just like I'm searched all over, couldn't find no.
And
like where they at, Lord?
No, and it's
like it shouldn't be this hard.
Come on, and I think that like I've gotten into that situation like in my own regard, like you know what I'm saying, where it's like God was like, you don't believe me. I'm not going to send you something because you are looking. Like, you're not looking for me.
Yeah.
You're not seeking me to do it. You're seeking the help. You're seeking the body, somebody physical to be like, the Lord told me to come over here. The Lord told me to come over here.
But come on, I tell you where I'm at.
But God is like, I know that thing hit me deep. It hit me deep. When I read that scripture a couple weeks ago, that was the episode. But it was like, I know your thoughts. I know you don't believe me. You do realize that I know. I know you don't believe me.
I know that you don't believe me, right?
It's like he was looking at me like,
you gonna sit here and play this patty cake game all night.
You know I know.
Do better, my daughter.
Like you can't get over on me.
Right, do better.
You cannot get over on God, folks. Like you can fake it to me. You can fake it
to him.
You cannot
fake
it.
He know our thoughts.
Our thoughts, folks.
He know.
I know the things that you're gonna do before you do them. I know. I know you don't believe me. And you're wavering. And I'm trying to tell you a lot of scripture tonight because you keep pulling it out. But it says in James 1, you know, James, my OG, love him, ride or die, okay? Ride or live, okay? But James 1:6, but let him act in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
You close the book now.
If you're wavering,
that's why you ain't got it.
It ain't.
That's why it ain't there.
It ain't gonna happen. You don't believe me.
Yeah.
You're not acting out of faith. You're not on the faith walk.
Mm-hmm.
You're not trusting me for the thing. You're not trusting me to be your provider. You're not trusting me to be the answer, to be the solution. I am the only solution.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't believe in the solution, what other solution? I can't just give you something that you don't believe in because, okay, you could ask me something, right? All right, God, I need da-da-da-da-da. Lord, I have a need, Lord. And I tell you, this is your answer. I'm not a waster. So why would I tell you and you won't believe me anyway?
You know, I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I'm really sitting here listening, and because we read the scriptures, we know the scriptures, and I'm really just sitting here saying, you just gonna have to just do it.
Do it.
Like you can read these scriptures
all day long.
But
if you don't believe it,
but if you don't, not only do you have to believe it, but you gotta apply it. Because I think a lot of us believe it. I believe it. But I don't necessarily apply it all the time. Just because you believe it and don't apply it, you're not gonna get the results. It's impossible. Okay? If thou can't believe, it's what was the other one? Thou can't.
If thou canst, but Jesus said unto him, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believes.
Right. If you don't activate that,
and see, and that's what God was saying.
That's great. That's wonderful.
That sounds good.
But if you don't believe it,
but
if you don't activate that,
and the only way to activate it is to believe it. And if you don't believe it, you can't apply it.
Right? Absolutely. You not gonna,
because
I say it all the time. You ain't gonna do nothing you don't believe in.
No.
I don't care what you say. If you don't believe in it, you are not going to waste your time.
You think it's your time?
That's your time.
Absolutely.
You're not going to waste your time.
Absolutely.
Doing that thing.
You're not.
If you believe in something, you're going to go wholeheartedly for it.
Absolutely.
I was just telling the person on the way here. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was talking about businesses. He was talking about business, and he was like. He's like, yeah, I'm doing this, and I'm finna do this, and I'm finna do this. And he was like, what you think? I said, well, personally, I'm going to stick to what I believe in.
Yeah.
Now, okay, let me phrase how I said it again.
Okay.
But this is essentially what I was saying. I said, I'm going to stick to something that I want to do. Because, if you, like he was telling me, he was telling me about this business plan, right? And he had like all these figures on here. Now, you know, my sister, so listen at this, because you know why. So I had like all this stuff on here, right? It's like, if you do this, you can get this. If you can do this, you can get that.
Yeah.
Okay, so look at all these numbers, right? And I said, no, I don't want to do that. You want to know why? Because I'm not just to put all that effort into doing this to get this. I'm not. And you know why? It's because I may do it today. I might just do it tomorrow. But I guarantee you before the end of the week, I ain't gonna keep doing that. It's too for me. Now for Christy, that's too much. That's just too much thinking to me. Yeah. To get just that. Yeah. Now, if I was getting this and I had to do this, bet. I'm with you. Yeah. So what I was telling him was, I said, he was like, well, what you think? I said, I'm going to stick to what I know. I'm going to stick to what I do. Because what I do it wholeheartedly. And I would do it. That is what? Because I believe in what I do. Yeah. So if you come over here and bring me your thing and be like, hey, Christy, I do this. So you do this. Okay, I'm gonna sit back, but you ain't gonna get no kind of you get no effort, you get no kind of assistance out of me, because I don't want to do that. I'm not because I don't believe in that, because I don't want to do that. Guess what I ain't gonna do? I ain't gonna do that. That's true. It's just like God. If He comes and say, "Hey, I just need you to just have faith. Just have faith. I don't need to do nothing else. Just chill out. And just believe. Just believe me. Just believe what I'm saying." That's how He be saying to us. Yeah. And I be saying, oh, child. Absolutely. But I gotta do this now. Shouldn't I be doing that? Oh, because I'm a parallel. Well, this look kind of crazy because I'm just sitting here not doing that. Who you better say that? Should I? So now let me get and do something. Because now I'm doing stuff that's getting in His way, and now I'm prolonging something when all I asked you to do was have faith and sit and wait. And that's where God has me in a lot of areas in life. Just at work, at home, like relationships, like friendships, like all of those things. Like, I just want you to sit still. He gave me the word still. I want you to be
still. I don't want you to move to the left. I don't want you to move to the right. I don't want you to go to the front. I don't want you to go to the back. I want you to be obedient and standing still because you're so used to trying to help me out that you're getting in my way. And I have stuff that I need you to do. I need you to be still. But I wanted to parallel to what you said about the business. Like you said, you stick to that. Like, you stick to what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I might do it today. I might do it tomorrow. My issue was, God is like, this is who you are. What I'm asking you to do is not something that you're used to doing. It's not something that you've been doing, but I'm trying to reveal to you a part of you that I know you to be. This is where the progress is going. This is what it's tracking to. Like, you know what I'm saying? So in that same situation, it's like, what if somebody brings this to you and it's like, dang, God, that's what that spirit of discernment. I feel like that's where it's like discernment. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, what is that? What if that's your next level? What if that's your next dimension? Like, you have to, like, talking to me, like, I'm like, okay, God, you're trying to show me something that is not my usual. It's not something that I'm comfortable in. And I have to decipher, okay, is this me that's trying to move, or is this you trying to reveal something in me?
Absolutely.
That was where I found myself last week,
Absolutely.
where it's like, God is like, he's showing me something, and I'm like, that's not me. Like, I don't do that. Like, I can point out some people in this room that could do that. But God was like, no, I want you to do it. And I'm like, And he whooped my behind. Like, he arrested me, like, real quick. Like, no. I told you to do that. I'm revealing something in you. So I think that that's very important, too. And having that discernment and realizing, like, even if it is something new or it's something that you're not normally doing, that it could be another level of you.
Absolutely. And you're right. And that's you're right. When you approach with situations like that was a flyby example. But when you approach with situations like that, let's just say business-wise, when you approach with a situation like that, absolutely, you need to go to God.
Yeah. Hey.
Like I said, go to God.
Go to God.
That's you going to Him is developing that faith. God, I believe if I come to you and say X, Y, Z,
absolutely, that you're going to tell me, yeah, you need to do X, Y, Z, or you don't need to do X, Y, Z. Yeah.
Because you developing that faith, you have that faith in Him.
Yes, my Lord.
Now, absolutely, you have that discernment, but the discernment should always lead you to God. In a situation like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
somebody
God
come
told
to you
me,
be like, girl, I need you to invest $1 million in this thing. Yeah, you better go to God.
You better talk to
the Lord
immediately.
First of all, money up like that.
Come on. But the Holy Spirit really had to tell me, like, I think it was like last week I told you that God was like, you don't discern nothing I don't tell you. I don't let you discern. Like, you don't just discern stuff just like at your own. Like, discernment is literally my gift. Like, I am going to prick you and be like, like, hold up now. Like, you know what I'm saying? But go to the Lord, like, first and foremost. But you have to have that belief that, because even, okay, say it's a situation where you see the figures and the figures is like, bow. Are you still going? You got to ask yourself, like, do you believe in that faith that even though it looks like this, I am still your supplier. Like, don't look at like you said, we go clickbait. That's clickbait. You see those figures, it's like, all right, all you gotta do is go out here for 30 minutes and you're gonna get $30 million.
Right.
You gonna stop and say, Lord, should I go out here for 30 minutes? Shall I pursue?
The Word tell you that answer. Shall I
pursue? I think it's really about just slow it down. And no matter which way you come at it, as far as with believing, because God may tell you, hey, wait, now I don't want you to go out there for 30 minutes right now. I want you to go out there tomorrow, because I'm gonna meet you out there tomorrow, and that's gonna be for you. But do you have the ability to just slow it down? Like, I think that's where it was like, that's where God has it. I need you to just like slow. Your brain be like, and you got so many things going on, and it's like I've come up to situations where God has asked me to do something that sounded outlandish, like genuinely don't make no sense. We was on the phone one time, don't make no sense at all, and I had no problem doing it. There's no problem. I was just like, I don't know why, but hey, baby.
Well, we talked about this. I believe you said one thing, but I believe that's the hardest thing for us to do.
Yeah.
Is to give, to be givers, and trust God.
And to trust.
Them two things right there is like fire under you. Like it's gonna burn you. Like
so.
Those are cuss words.
Like
giving, and
trusting the Lord.
Them like cuss words.
Oh my goodness. To a believer.
To
Not to a non-believer.
Not to a non-believer.
Somebody that actually.
But a believer. It's true now.
But then it was so confusing to me. And of course, confusion. We know what confusion. But it was so confusing to me because I'm like, God, how can I believe you that whatever it was that I just did was something that you told me to do? And something as simple as, I just want you to go over there and say that. And I'm like, I can't do that. Like, it was like, I was like, you know how crazy that sounds? Like, that's wavering. That's the back and forth. Because when I thought about wavering was like, you backslide and you say, you're not saved, and that's backsliding. But in my mind, like that was my definition. Like, okay, you out in the world, or you in here? Are you out in the world, or you in here? And God was like, no,
that's a lukewarm person.
You believe me in this situation,
you don't believe me in that,
and you don't believe me in that one. You believe me when I tell you to go do that, so that, say that. In certain situations, and then you get in different settings and you like, no, that's not, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, that thing really hit me. Like it sat on me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, oh man, because it don't make no sense. Like, and I could just imagine God, me and God was sitting there. I don't know if everybody saw that video. I think it was Diddy. It was like The Voice. And he was, I don't think it was The Voice, but he was looking at the dude, and the dude was looking back at him, and they had like this confused look. I'm gonna have to show it to you. But they was looking at each other, and they was just staring at each other, and I felt like me and God was just like looking at each other like, like, he like, you get how that don't make no sense? Cause like, you get some of the hardest principles. Like there are things that I've asked you to do that you would, like you don't take no thought. Like you just immediately boom. All right, bet. And some of the hardest things I've asked you to do.
And he tell you go check the mailbox.
Oh my God, I can't check the mailbox. That's not my place. Like that's not my place.
You got to pass time.
That's not my place to check the mailbox. I'm not the mailbox checker, God. Like that's not me. I'm not the mailbox checker. So he's looking at me like, all this stuff that I have asked you to do. And that's how he presented it. Oh, he was tearing me up. Y'all, I did not eat. I did not do anything. I literally was just sitting there, just listening to the Lord tell me, like, you know how crazy that sounds? Like, that was so simple, what I just asked you to do. Like, I just asked you to do something very simple. And you did not, and you still ain't. And I was still laying there. And he was like, and you still ain't turned around and did it. I don't understand. You still ain't turned around and do it. I'm literally telling you. This is what I asked you to do. This is what I want you to do. This is what I need you to do. Instructions, like, do this, do that, do this. And I'm hearing them. And I'm like, that's not me. Like, that ain't me. That's not me. And he was whooping my behind. He was whooping my behind. And I couldn't do anything but just sit there and get the whooping because it was just like, what's not clicking, Stephen? It's not clicking. Like, what's not clicking?
Yeah.
Because I was trying to show you another level of you. And you believed in the level that you're in. You believe the things that you do in this level of you. But now I'm trying to tell you, okay, this level, okay, cool, bet. Yes. Hard stuff, crazy stuff, outlandish stuff. Just, I'm talking about for real, y'all. Like, stuff that's just like, that don't make no sense. Like, but I'm going to do it because I heard the Lord say it. Like, and I believe that was the Lord that told me to do it, and I'm going to do it. All right. So now I'm trying to take you to another level. I'm trying to take you up to where, from where you're at to this level. And it's like, this the easy stuff. Like when you go to another step, it's like, walk you down. Like, okay, like I want you to go. Like, it's like kindergarten. Like you start back in kindergarten. You're like, all right, 1 + 1 = 2. It was really a 1 + 1 = 2 situation. Like, it was a 1 + 1 = 2 situation. And I was just like, I can't do that. Because I ain't been doing that. Like, that's so crazy. Yeah. Yes. That don't make no sense. No. It don't. And I had to really self-reflect. I had to really sit down and be like, that sounds so stupid, Reed. Like, you sound dumb. Like, you sound dumb.
This is how we talk to ourselves.
This is how we talk. I don't care. Listen. This is how we talk to ourselves. But we love on ourselves, too. Like, we're fearfully and wonderfully made. But we be acting dumb sometimes, dummy. Like, I was literally sitting there like, afterwards, I was like, after I did it, because I finally did it, right? And then I was just like, that really wasn't, like, God, I thank you. I do. Because that really could have been that, it really could have been that simple. Like, it really could have been that simple. But I had to really, like, sit and reflect and be like, hey, it's just the same, like, it's the same thing. You're learning something new about yourself. Like, you learn something new about yourself every day. Like, you find a new, I got gray hair in front of my head. I found it last week. Do you see it?
No. Oh, yeah, I do. You put it right on there.
Right on
there. What I thought.
I'm like, you find out something new about yourself every day. And you embrace it. Like, I pointed right to it. I knew exactly where it was at. On my head. And God was like, so when I tell you something about yourself, something new, like, why don't you embrace it? Like, things that you can see. Because you don't see to believe. As believers, we are not called to see to believe. We are called to believe to see. That's the faith. It may not look like it right now. It may not smell like it. It may not act like it. It may not be. But I need you to know that if I made you a promise and I told you this is what it's going to be, if it don't look like that, you just need to know that that's what I told you. And believe that until it line up.
To the day of Jesus Christ.
Being confident. I got that. I'm trying to tell you. You full of
mouth.
Come on. Philippians 1:6. Being confident of this very thing. That he which hath began a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. If it don't look like a good work today, wake up tomorrow and we just gonna see. Believe that that's gonna be the day. And just do that every single day. Be open, be teachable. Like, God had to tell me that. Like, I want you to stay teachable, stay willing, stay open to learning new things, because you don't know what I have for you. You can't think it in your mind. It has not entered into the thought of man. The things that I have for you, the people that I have set before you, the people that are waiting on you to grow into who I've called you to be. It don't look like it today, but I need you to constantly be seeking me diligently, not for the reward, but for the confidence to walk into it. Like, because the principle becomes before the promise. And if you focus more on the principle of the thing, the promise gonna come and you ain't even gonna be, it's gonna be a genuine surprise, because anything that you ask of me, I want to exceed that anyway. I want to do more. I want to do overflow. Like, I want to overflow. I want to blow your mind. I don't want to do the regular. Like, I'm not regular. I want to blow your mind. I want you to stay in a posture and in a confidence that Tasha Cobb said, God, you can blow my mind. Like, she was like, I'm about to do it. I'm like, God was like, I want you to stay believing me for more. Don't stay, he said it a minute ago, a baseline of abundance. I don't want you at a baseline. Like, I want to literally overflow you for being obedient. I know this life is hard. Like, I know that this walk is not always the easiest. I know that it's not going to always look like what I said. And that's why the more you diligently seek me, the more you stay in a posture and you stay ready and you stay open and you stay willing and you stay on this hard course that I have chose you for. That's why I want to do exceeding abundantly. That's why I'm going to overflow you. That's why I'm going to give you more than you can ask or think. That's why I'm going to do the more. Because that's why I want you to believe me for the more, because it's like, this hard. Like, life it's so many things, like, and if you could just believe God in the midst of your life's gonna get cut off, you got 2 hours, and when God do that thing, like, when somebody come at the last minute,
you know what I think, what the disconnect and what happens is this right here, because I'm type of person like this. I want to get to the root of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting here listening to you, and I'm saying, God, we know the word, especially as a believer. Let's just start there.
Yes.
Not leaving anybody else out, but I'm just saying, as a believer, like, God, where is the disconnect at?
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting here, and I said, So what happens sometimes is this right here, is that we will pray for a thing,
mm-hmm.
or we'll be interceding for somebody. Let's say somebody's sick,
mm-hmm.
and you're interceding for them.
Mm-hmm.
They get healed, like they get up.
Yeah.
They get up out their bed of affliction.
Yeah.
Or, like he said, we use your example, the light bill.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I was reading that book, prayer book, and early on in the book, it talked about how the people, the family was sitting there and they needed some food,
mm-hmm.
and need some school clothes.
Yes.
They needed some school clothes because their kids went to private school. The mom didn't have the money,
mm-hmm.
and a knock on the door came. Them sitting there talking. They get up and walk out the door. The little child go over to the chair, see this bag sitting on the chair, look in the bag, is money in there. Enough
mm-hmm.
money to buy all their school clothes.
Mm-mm-mm.
Okay. So I think what happens sometimes is that we'll have moments like that,
mm-hmm.
where we see I'm put it like this, when we see the hand of God.
Mm-hmm.
We have moments like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll just be, we'll be ready. And then we'll get around that corner.
It don't be a moment like that.
And you'll have no moment like that.
Mm-mm.
And then you can't pull from that scripture and say, well, I know if he don't do it, I know if God can do it.
He's able.
He's able.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get around that corner.
And forget
that.
Your remembering problem.
Was, when we was around back around on the street down there, God was just opening the windows of heaven.
For you out of blessing.
He was just
mm-hmm.
bam,
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll get around that corner, mm-hmm. and it's like you don't necessarily come to a roadblock, but it's like you said, I just believe this, is that if you stay on one dimension forever, you're gonna that's a hot mess. But if something don't ever comes along to
elevate, poke you, elevate you,
to make you have to pray more, to make you have to seek God more, to make you have to trust God more.
God told me.
What'll happen is this right here, is that you'll get stagnated,
mm-hmm.
and then you'll to me it's like you'll develop that attitude of, well, He gonna do it. He gonna do it.
Mm.
But what's around this, what was over here, is not gonna be the same thing
over
around
there.
this corner.
Yes.
So where you could have just simply, just this example,
Mm-hmm.
where you could just simply just fast for a day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna consecrate for a day.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, go about my business.
Uh-huh.
But then you get around that corner and you realize that this is a bigger mountain.
Absolutely.
This is a bigger pothole.
Uh-huh.
This is a bigger situation.
It needs a different weapon.
It needs a different weapon, but it also needs another level of faith.
Yes.
Because
yes.
What is it that we go from faith to faith?
Mm-hmm.
You can't, what you did over here,
mm-hmm.
the faith that you develop over here to pay that light bill,
mm-hmm.
but the faith you need over here, you may need to move a mountain. Let's say you had cancer in your body.
You got to tell that mountain to move.
Baby, you can't just be telling something. This is an example. No, people don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
They understand, like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That level of faith is that you may have to get in that word.
Yeah.
And you have to find those scriptures.
Yeah.
And you have to believe those scriptures.
Believe them.
For it to activate.
For it to activate.
Absolutely. So
because
I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you and I'm saying to myself, God, where is the disconnect?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's the disconnect. Is that God will do it for you,
mm-hmm.
and then you'll get over here and think oh God, I got a good example. Maybe speaking tall. Calm down, Chrissy. I got a better example.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you was asking God for how am I put this? Let's say you're a single woman
mm-hmm.
and you desire to be married.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Let's say you meet this person, this guy, or meet this woman or whatever, you meet this person,
mm-hmm.
and you just know, like, yeah, this is it, God.
Uh-huh.
Like, God, I know what you told me.
Uh-huh.
You showed me the visions.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. Awake. You showed me the visions while I was asleep.
Mm-hmm.
I have dreamed the dreams. I have done all of that, God.
Uh-huh.
And you done told me this is what I can have.
Yes.
And that thing comes along.
Uh-huh.
And you just like, oh, that's it. That's it right there. That's the ball game. That's it, God. So you thinking, okay, God did it.
Uh-huh.
God did it. Yeah, I did it. He did this thing. And then you get around that corner and hey,
wait a minute.
God is saying, you still ain't got it.
You ain't getting it.
I love you, but now I got to show you
mm-hmm.
that your trust in me.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
In me now.
Ooh.
Not Christy, but I'm saying God.
Mm-hmm.
Your
trust was in me.
Your trust wasn't in me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me write that down because you need some help with that. Okay? Your faith wasn't in me. Now these are all, what is it, synonymous?
Yes.
Words?
Synonyms.
Synonyms. Let me write that down. See. Then come back. Okay? She don't believe in what I told her. So what she did was, she took what I said.
And you went and created it.
And I went and created it.
You,
Let me write that down. Yeah, we pushing about 5 or 6 of them right now. So that person will say, oh, he ain't gonna do it.
Immediately.
He ain't gonna ever do it. Because I just knew.
That was it.
I just knew that was it.
Absolutely.
God, I heard you say that was it.
Oh.
And you didn't get this to me. Now you done sat down. I just ain't gonna believe that else. Well, I ain't gonna believe that.
Yeah, come on. In that situation.
But I ain't gonna believe that.
Oh, wow.
And we'll do that. And so what that does, I believe, to our faith, and what it does to our belief, because I use me for example, because I look good. 43 years old.
You keep saying, they know.
44.
You every 3 episodes you say that.
Really?
Every 3 episodes you gotta say, I look good.
Listen,
y'all.
What that scripture say? The meat. What you say? Oh God, how it go? Something with the salvation with the, oh, anyway, I'll find it when I get off here. But yeah, he clothed me with, is that
please,
never mind.
move on.
Okay. I'll find it. So I'm telling you, that's a good one right there. I'm gonna use that one. But what I was gonna say is that, you know, you'll look at that and be like, oh, he can't do it. He ain't gonna ever do it.
In this situation.
I'm 43 years old. I'm 44. I'm 45. I'm 46 years old. I'm 50 years old.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna do it. I don't believe him.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't gonna happen. I'm too old. You know, and so I think a lot of times that's what we do. We gotta do something, and then he'll bend the block and just be like, you ain't ready for that.
You're not ready for that.
Not that I'm not gonna give it to you.
You're just not ready.
But you're just not ready.
It's something else.
That.
I need to add some more.
I'm telling you,
take out
this
some
list.
more.
That
list of things.
This list over here is what's preventing me from doing this over here.
Hands tied immediately.
It ain't that, and we'll think that, oh, he's the same guy last time and the same guy this time.
We really do that. But it's like, we talked about that in a couple episodes ago, where it's like, the examples they're not cookie cutter. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we don't think about that.
No.
Like, cause you think like, it's gonna look like that. Just like you said.
It's gonna look
this is what
like
I saw.
Right.
This is what I heard.
Right.
This is what I dreamt about.
Right.
Absolutely, that's it.
Right.
Not realizing you just shoved your own cookie in God's cookie cutter. It was like, yep.
Yeah.
That's what the Lord said. Absolutely.
But that's not.
That's
but
not
see,
it.
But then we'll get discouraged and when we just shut down.
Yeah.
And just be like,
it's done.
I ain't gonna believe that.
And that's where that remembering problem comes in, because He is the same God. Like, He is the same God. Even if it's like, that's just like when God got to correct you, because that's what the list is. There's some things I got to correct. Your faith is not in me. Your trust is not in me. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. All of these things are still present in you. But I need you to know that I'm faithful. Like, you got to believe that I'm faithful. And that, like you said, that's how you activate it.
Right. That's how
you got to believe that even if I have to correct you, I still love you enough to finish that thing out. I will perform it.
It's like the example. We can go to the example, like you said, what happened to me at firm. The example, God said, hey, I need you to do this. I did it. Didn't work.
You believe it.
But, right. Well,
yeah.
This is the example because they don't know what you're
Oh,
talking about.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Like, what y'all talking about?
Sorry.
So,
yes.
At the summit that we go to once a year.
Yes.
And so I sing a lot. So, around that third day,
it was literally like
my voice be
Tuesday night. Done. Wednesday. Done. Out of there.
Now, granted, I did not prepare myself. I need to stop doing that ridiculous stuff.
Ridiculous.
But nevertheless, God is always faithful.
Hallelujah.
God is always faithful. But anyway, I got a message from someone that was not there, that had no clue what was going on with me. Had no clue.
Yours couldn't have.
Could not have a clue. I mean, talk to this individual on a daily basis.
Yes.
And they sent me a text message while I was in the midst of trying to figure out how I'm going to get my voice back.
Absolutely.
In a couple hours.
In a couple hours.
In a couple hours.
Absolutely.
Back in a couple hours. And I was sitting there saying, Lord, literally I was like, God, nah. You know. Like, you know how this works.
You know this
like,
side of it.
You know what you put in me. So I need my voice. I can't do anything if ain't no sound coming out.
And it was literally like nothing. Like, it wasn't even a whisper. Like, it was like,
I was down bad.
Borderline nothing.
This time, I think this time was probably one of the worstest ones. I'm going to say during the summit. Like, I didn't told you, I would have whole year without a voice one time. Couldn't talk but could sing all day long. The wildest thing. Could sing all day long and could not whisper 2 words after I got done. That's the truth. I did that. That happened a whole year.
The gift gonna gift, okay? The gift got a gift, okay?
So the individual said, hey, the Lord said, text me and said, hey, the Lord said, that's how they put it.
Straight off
the Lord said that you need that you need to take some. You need to drink some honey for your voice. And I'm looking at this text message saying, how they know my voice?
It's going out.
It's gone. How do you know I don't talk to them?
And that we weren't live streaming.
Wasn't
Like,
that?
and the day before, you sang Tuesday.
Oh, my
perfectly
voice was,
strong.
My voice was straight.
She would not, there was no way she had, it had to be the Lord.
It had to be
It was
the Lord.
nobody but God.
I'm like, no, I don't talk to you.
No.
You know, first of all,
You're not here.
the last time you heard me singing like that, my voice was straight that last year. Last year, I had no issues with my voice last year. None. So all the time, all throughout, right? I'm like, okay, God, this got to be you.
It got to be the Lord.
Now, I said that now. I said,
You
it
said
got
it.
to be you.
Absolutely.
Told my sister, Mary Bell, she went buy me
The
some
Lord
honey
said, go get the honey. She needs to take it today.
So I was like, well, I just got to get it tomorrow.
And that's what she said. She was like, you can get it tomorrow. And I said, the Lord said, you need to take it today.
Take it today.
Came back to the room,
Came
got
back to the
the
room.
key, left, and went on the hunt with no air conditioning.
Well, no air conditioning, for some honey.
For some honey, because the Lord said she needed to take the honey today.
Okay. So, bitch, got back, laying in the bed like, oh, God, like, Jesus, help, Lord. Took the honey, turned it up.
Turned it up.
I call them honey
Before
shots.
I get in the shower, I was like, no, you take it right now. Like, I was urgency of it. Like, take it right now.
I call them honey shots. They don't put it in no tea, don't do nothing like that. Don't call it. I just turn it up, squeeze it. Let it just dry it out. I'm just let it run out.
Right? Just let it just
call them honey
soothe.
shots.
Okay.
So, took a couple of honey shots. Okay? I'm like, bet, this gonna be good. I'm gonna lay down for a little while. If I got to get up, I'm gonna wake up and have a voice. Got a phone call and it's like, hey, can you come downstairs? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I can get up. I'm like, I ain't got no voice.
That's literally what she sounds like.
I was like, Lord, now I know you said it. I'm like, first thing out of my mouth, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work.
No belief.
That was Wednesday. Get on down there. I'm like, Lord. He like, I need you to open your mouth. I'm like, how? I ain't got no voice. I can open it, but it ain't gonna come out this voice. And I literally was sitting there like,
yeah.
But when it gonna come out, wasn't nothing coming out.
Jesus.
It wasn't coming.
Jesus.
And he's like, hey. And I'm like, yeah. But I'm like, what you want me to do? I ain't got no voice. Like, I'm literally talking to the Lord.
Jesus.
Like, this is real talk.
Yeah.
I'm literally sitting there talking to him saying like I know you know I ain't got no voice. What am I supposed to do? So, he ain't say nothing after that. I guess he was like, I'm sick of her.
Sick of you.
Sick of her dumb self.
Tell me.
Service over with. Up there talking to the musician. He like, what you gonna do? I'm like, do you hear my voice? What you about to drop that key? Or you singing in this key? Well, you got to drop that 2 keys.
I can't do it.
I can't push that out.
Can't.
I can't push that out. So he was like, all right,
Oh, but you
girl.
can't.
I did. I was like, I can't hit that. You got to drop that down to the whatever, the negative A or something. I don't know.
I'm so sick of you. I'm
So
tired.
he like, no, you can do it. I'm like, So I heard the Holy Spirit say, drink you some oil. And I'm like, God, I'm all the way not in Pensacola.
We 2 hours, 2
I
and a
ain't
half
bring
hours.
no oil. I'm like, I ain't bring no oil, God. Like, you know, I ain't got
Talk
no
about
oil.
anointed oil.
Anointing oil, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, God, I ain't bring no oil. Like, where I'm gonna get some? Like, I just can't. I know when you say drink some oil, I know you don't want me to go to Walmart and just get some
It's just regular oil.
some oil out the thing. Now, true that, I probably could have went in there and got something and prayed over it and believed
Right?
that, but I was just like, all that just wasn't kind of like
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, God, well, I ain't got no oil. What you? And he had me look at an individual in my ministry, cause you know I believe that. You know, I'm a first.
Come on, you gonna let me tell my part.
I called the individual. I'm like, hey, look, I know this gonna sound weird. It's probably gonna sound really ridiculous right now. I just need you to ride with me. Do you have some oil? Some anointing oil? They like looked at me like, yeah, I got some. I said, okay, I need to drink some. And they was like, drink some. I was like, yeah. The Lord told me I need to drink some for for my throat. They was like, okay, fine. Took it out. I was like, I ain't got nothing to put it in. They was like, you better turn that bottle up.
Thank you.
I said, okay.
Come on.
So I did. I took me a oil shot, turned it up right there, dropped me some, and it just went down my throat, and I was like, whew. But I said that to say this right here. It worked immediately because I believed in the oil.
Absolutely.
I didn't believe in the honey.
Absolutely.
Now, even though I have I do lemon and honey. If I get sick, cold, if you got any kind of congestion, any kind of cold, I'm going to take some lemon and honey. I'm going to boil it on the stove. Cut up some real lemon, put that lemon juice in there, squeeze some real lemons in there, and I'm going to pour that honey in there, and I'm going to cook on that stove, and that's what I'm telling you, I'm going to be straight.
Yeah.
I do the same thing for my voice.
Yeah.
It worked. It get me to where I need to get.
Uh-huh.
Okay? But this time it didn't work. Even had what they call a throat coat. Had that too. I made me one of them. I call them single ties.
Uh-huh.
Had one of them. Had a single tie.
Uh-huh.
Didn't work. That oil, immediately. Before I got from that keyboard back to that room, my voice was starting to sound like it sounds right now. And over the hours of the night, when I woke up the next morning, I was like, yeah,
absolutely.
I got this. Like I can go and push these 2-3 days out. Like I can do this. Like I can open my mouth now. Cause I don't know about anybody else. Me, if listen, my back, my toe, my arm, my neck, my head, whatever can hurt. Leave my voice alone.
Yeah.
Like don't play with me with my voice. Like I don't like that. I don't like not being able to talk or sing. Like that aggravates me.
Yeah.
Because you just never know. I just never know when I need to open my mouth.
Yeah.
And that aggravates me.
Yeah.
When I just can't just be like, yeah.
That's it.
Okay. I'm ready.
Go.
Like, that aggravates me.
Yeah.
So don't go playing with that. But it worked because I believed in that. I believed in the oil.
Absolutely.
And then it was oil that has been, I know for a fact, has been prayed and fasted in my ministry.
Absolutely.
So my belief was all the way there.
Immediately.
It was not in clover. Clover the honey.
And so I'm sitting there because I know that the Lord said she needs to drink this honey today. I know that you just left from out of here. Because I had to go get my dress for the day. I had to send my dress there because it didn't get there in time. So I had to leave. I forgot the key. She got to push the start. Like, I can't cut the car off. It's hot. Ain't no air. When she said it to me, I heard the Lord say, go get the honey. I go back to the hotel. I get the key so I can cut this car back off. I go to the store. I got to Google. We're not from there, so I have to Google, like, okay, what's the closest anything? Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, I don't know, whichever one. Go downstairs. I know they had honey on the breakfast bar, but it was like, oh, that's closed. Like, it's closed. So I'm like, okay, God, all right, I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna get this key, and I'm gonna go get this honey because I hear you saying, okay, no, you're gonna go get it. Like, she needs the honey today. So you took the honey. That night, I didn't hear her singing, and I'm like, now you wait 1 minute. Because I heard the Lord say she needed that honey because she needed to, that's what needed to happen. So I'm sitting there, and it was perplexing me. And then you drank the oil, the anointed oil, and the voice came back, and I was...
It's because I figured it out the other day. It's because that's what you believe.
No, that's what he told me. That's what I'm saying.
I know, and you believe that. So you.
I believe that the honey.
But it's like apostles say. It's like our apostles say. When I pray for you,
you healed in my book.
In my book, you straight. You straight in my book.
Because I know my prayer. I believe in my prayer.
I believe in my prayer. You straight.
Like do you believe?
Right. You believed in that. You believed in that.
The Lord said that you need that honey.
In that 90-degree weather, got that honey because you believed in the honey.
Yes.
I took this right here, just what I just talked about. That's what the disconnect is at. I took a squig of the honey and it didn't work.
Honey didn't work.
I don't believe in the honey no more. Something else got to happen.
And I was so
Something else got to happen.
perplexed. And so literally the other day, I was sitting there at my desk, and I had thought about it again because I'm like, God. Like when we were on the way back, I was literally driving, asking God, I'm like, God, why didn't the honey work? Like, there's no way this lady could have known that your voice was going out.
No.
There was no way that she could have just popped out of nowhere. It was like, that's when I say, like, God's like, I want you to do something, and it sounds preposterous. Like, it's just like, you got to know that that's me that said that. So I'm like, God, this don't make any sense. And I literally looked, I just was stuck like this. Like, I turned my head to the side, and he was like, the oil worked because she believed in the oil. The honey didn't work because she didn't believe in the honey. And so when she got the oil.
When he said the oil, I said, why did I think of
what?
that?
Duh.
Why did I not think of that? I did.
Yeah.
I was sitting right there at that keyboard saying,
duh.
I think of that.
Absolutely. And
I'm
like,
telling you, that's the truth.
That was great. But I was like, God, like I knew the urgency that I had going to the store. Like I remember when I walked in the room, I was like, before I get in the shower, I need to tell you, you need to drink that right now. Like, don't go back to sleep. Because she was like sleeping. And I'm like, no, before you go back to sleep, you need to drink this honey, like today, because you got something to do. Like, I know you got something to do because the Lord just had you go back out here in this 90-degree weather. But it's honey. This honey gotta do it. This honey gonna do it. The honey gonna honey. Okay? Period. It did not honey. And
you know what it feel like? It feel like it made it worse. It's like my throat, I ain't tell you. It was like my throat was on fire.
Oh my goodness.
And that's like it made it worse. The more I drunk it, the worse my throat felt. Like it was like so scratchy.
So crazy. And
it's like I drunk that oil, and it's like when it went down, it's like it was just smooth. Smooth. It felt like some aloe going down my throat.
God was walking me down. He was like, first of all, honey is thicker than oil. It's thicker than oil. Second, I had an assignment for her. So instead of just being like, this girl's a dummy, I gave her something that she could believe. I gave her something that she believed in.
Yep,
like
I believe in
she believed in that oil because I was really perplexed. I'm like, God, I was really asking him, like, God. And he was like, the assignment still has to go forth. Like, I still needed her to open her mouth. There was something in her mouth that I needed to come forward. Right. So instead of just being like, you're a dummy, like, I told you what to do, you didn't believe it. It didn't work because you didn't believe it. But I had to give her something that she did believe because my assignment, I do a complete work. Like, and I had to, I called her and I wrote it to her and she was like, fuck. I was literally just talking to somebody about, if you get something, you get an instruction. If you don't believe it, it's not going to happen. Right. And that was like the perfect situation where it was like, I believed the honey would work because I knew that nobody but God could have said it. Like, there's no way this lady could have known this. Right. It got to be God. This honey is going to cure you. It's going to be immediate. It's just, I just knew it. When I got out that shower, she was going to be follow la 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 in the room.
I wouldn't.
She was not follow la la la. She did not follow la that night. And I'm like, ain't no way.
I had no voice.
Ain't no way.
I wanted to open my mouth so bad. There was nothing coming out.
Ain't no way. And God was like,
that's
it's that belief.
You can't put a person like me in a room like that.
It's just,
you have to be in a room like that and expect me to just sit still. I was about to pull this little hair.
You don't. And it's just like that belief. Like, it's the belief. Like, and it was like, it was clear cut. Like, but it's like that belief is it's mandatory.
Yeah.
Belief in what God said is literally mandatory. You cannot go without it.
It's like we say, but believe him the first time.
The first time. Just believe me.
Believe him the first time. And then you won't have to double back.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that could have been, I could have messed that up real bad.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, but it ended up being a very good teachable moment for me. Because like I said, I was the same way. I was like, why this didn't work?
Why didn't work?
Like, I'm that kind of person. Like, when stuff like that happens, and I have to think about, I have to ask, okay, God, where I mess that up at? Like, because thank God it all worked out. I mean, hello, I got a voice now.
Yes.
But it all worked out. But I still want to know, God,
Why did it work?
Miss?
Yeah.
What did I miss? Like, what did I miss to where you had to bend the block and come on back and say, okay, like you said, let me give you something that you did. Like, why could I not just believe in what you said up front?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, that's a small example between honey and oil. But,
yeah.
You know, what if it's something that's, like you said, what if you that person that has cancer in your body, or you have diabetes, or you on dialysis, or something like that. Like like I don't want to be in a. I don't. That's simple. My voice.
Yeah.
Because eventually, if I just shut up for a minute, eventually it's gonna come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, I had a moment one time when it even played on my top for a year.
Yeah.
Literally 12 months. It was literally January 1st when I literally got a voice back. It's no joke. I don't think many people even wrote, because I didn't broadcast it like that. But I did not have a voice. Like, it was so bad to where the doctors was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to just take this out.
No.
This ain't working. And I'm looking at it like, y'all is crazy.
You are
like,
crazy.
I need
this is
that.
a gift. You hear me? This is the
gift.
That. Yeah.
So I literally but I knew if I shut up eventually, it's gonna rest my voice. It's gonna come back.
Yeah.
I know, because I've been there before with that. But you have cancer in your body, or you dealing with diabetes, or whatever kind of disease that that they say you can't get rid of, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you die with it, or whatever. I don't want to be faced with something like that, and somebody come to me and say, "Hey, the Lord said blah 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 blah,"
and you don't believe it,
and I don't believe it. I just be sitting there like, and knowing, discerning that this is the Lord.
This is the Lord. It couldn't have been nobody but the Lord.
This can't
because you didn't know.
But the Lord,
yeah.
You don't know me. We don't talk like that.
Wow.
We don't have conversations like that. You don't even know what happens to me in situations like this. Now, there's some people that know me, if they would have came out and be like, okay, you know me because you know what happened. This person don't know me.
Yeah, they can't.
All they see is what they see.
Yeah.
On a Sunday morning. That's
Absolutely.
all they see. They don't see nothing else. So, I don't want to get to that point and be like,
when you turn that corner.
I turn that corner and just be like, bam.
Bam. Yeah.
And it's like, and God looking at me like, okay, you gonna believe me still over here in this?
In this? Because this is bigger. Because I did
bigger.
it with your voice. Because that was to show you.
That's your voice. But hey.
I was trying to show you something. I was trying to give you something to remember.
Right. I don't want to get rid of
it. Amen.
Just believe me.
Just believe. You just gotta believe. That's the Touch Girl song. I love this song. Yeah.
Good night, y'all.
You're so
this ridiculous dancing. All right, good night.
All right, y'all know we are. That was good. I get excited. I don't care. First of all,
it's good to start doing that.
I don't care. This is my excitement. Guess what, y'all? Exceeding TV turns 1 year old next week.
You are going to blow these people out. Oh my God, help me.
And I'm still before the Lord about how we're going to celebrate this 1 year old birthday party. Come on, appease me, please. This 1 year old birthday party. But I know it's going to be something special.
We have cake.
We might have cake. We might have cake. Butt cake. We might have butt cake. But now you want to dance. Now you want to dance.
I'm not dancing.
Wiggle. Anywho.
I'm a rock now. I'm a wiggle.
Oh my goodness. Anywho.
Rock me.
So just stay tuned for the 1 year birthday of Exceeding TV. Good morning.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Good night.
Bye.